Basically, the way I paint is very, very loose. It's very expressive. It's very, I'm trying to capture the feeling of the thing. I'm not worried about how precise the lines are. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to put some ink down and show you how I do it. I'll talk you through as I'm going. And then I've absolutely blue peated this. I've done one earlier because the ink takes a while to dry. And if you go in over the dark ink with your colours, you end up with a big muddy puddle of the dark ink. There's a thing called blind contour drawing whereby basically you don't look too hard at what's coming out on the paper. Just get a pencil, you can do this at home, and just draw, doesn't matter, hand, thing, leaf, whatever's right in front of you, and you don't look down at all. By the time you finish, your brain has kind of clicked into looking mode and you find yourself more able to look really clearly at what you actually want to draw. So if I can see that I'm drawing, my drawings are getting really tiny and really, really tight, that's what I do just to relax a bit. And basically, I don't worry too much about the lines themselves because this is like the skeleton of the piece. And then once the colour goes in, I've got the bones of it there and I can be quite free and easy with the colour because I've got these lovely strong lines. To be honest, if you're going this loose and you put in hundreds and hundreds of lines, what tends to happen is you lose track of where you are and you get in a muddle. I don't worry about getting the exact shape right, and the reason for that is because the whole thing is slightly bog-eyed and wonky, and if I was to make the jam jar look absolutely perfect it would look mad. So if I want to draw a perfect jam jar, I'll get a ruler out. I've got a range of yellows, I've got a range of reds, purples, blues. I use quite a lot of different blues, but what I will not do is use all of these in one picture. Because if I was to use all of these in one picture, it would look like a jumble sale. So what I tend to do is I have a feel for that. I mean, that picture's about greeny yellows, it's about shades of white, it's got some yellow ochre in the grass, there's the bright, big pink colour in there, and that's probably all I'm going to need for that. The paints I use are from tubes, because it works out a heck of a lot cheaper. You can get really high quality paints. These are Daniel Smith watercolours, which are, it's about £15 for a tube. Sounds extortionate, but I've had that tube for a year and a half, something like more, and I use it for workshops. They last forever because there's so much pigment. I wouldn't ever buy student watercolours, they're absolute junk. I'd get like 3 of the ones you can afford of the best quality. Because so what I do is I squeeze a bit out, let it dry, and I work from that. I find that better than the blocks that you can buy. Now the thing that's jumping out at me right away is those quinces. So for a quince I've got a little bit of this green gold. And then what I tend to do when I'm doing this, if I've got a colour on my brush, I will incorporate it into the rest of the picture, because I find that what happens otherwise is the picture becomes very fragmented. If I incorporate a little bit of that colour into the top and the bottom, it doesn't have to be a massive amount of it, just a little wash, it just pulls the whole thing together. So I can see there's some of that yellow on the hops as well, so I'm going to get a little bit of that yellowy green on there, and a little bit of the pure green. That's at the top end of the hops, isn't it? So we'll get some of that in there. I mean, each layer I might go off and make a cup of tea between layers, but I tend to work quite quickly because I found the slower I worked, the more I overthought it. The more I overthought it, the more it became lifeless. I can't really explain why. Sometimes you paint and you think, oh my god, that's really not, it's lost its excitement. There's nothing left in it. Easy to draw because I think it's a force for good. It's incredibly relaxing, it's very mindful, it helps you. If I'm having a bad day or a stressful day, or I've been doing admin all morning and I'm like, ooh, this is my go-to, this is how I relax. And this particular style of drawing, where it's incredibly loose, it doesn't really matter if the thing comes out slightly wonky. This is how I like to relax, which happily is also my job. I'm not going to lie and say it makes me £1 million, because it doesn't. But I've done a lot of jobs in my life. I've worked in offices, I've done all sorts of funny jobs. This is the one that makes me happiest, and I love teaching other people how to get enjoyment from it as well.